In 1940, the average American ate twice as much real food as we do today, and they didn't need gym supplements. They built raw, functional strength on a budget of pennies a day using a specific type of Depression-era nutrition that modern science is only now beginning to understand. Today, I'm analyzing the 5 cheapest old-school meals that naturally boost longevity. Before we begin, tell us in the comments which old-fashioned meal you still eat today and why. We read every response to learn from your experience. Now let's get started, and be ready, because number 1 will challenge everything you think you know about superfoods. Number 5. The Survival Stack Hoover Stew. We begin with a meal that was once a symbol of hard times, but is now recognized as a metabolic masterpiece for seniors. During the 1930s, soup kitchens served a mix of macaroni, hot dogs, stewed tomatoes, and corn known as Hoover Stew. It was designed to keep people alive, but medically speaking, it did something far more profound. It utilized the science of protein complementing before nutritional science even had a name for it. Most seniors do not realize that plant proteins are often incomplete, meaning they lack one or more of the 9 essential amino acids your body needs to build tissue. Grains like macaroni and corn are high in methionine, but dangerously low in lysine. Legumes and beans are high in lysine, but low in methionine. When you eat them separately, your body struggles to synthesize new muscle tissue because the chain is broken. But when you combine them in a single bowl, the amino acids link up to form a complete protein that rivals the biological value of beef or eggs. Researchers at the University of Toronto have confirmed that combining complementary plant proteins can stimulate muscle protein synthesis rates in older adults just as effectively as whey protein when total caloric needs are met. This is critical for seniors because as you age, your body becomes less efficient at processing protein, a condition known as anabolic resistance. To make this work for your modern health needs, we are going to upgrade the ingredients while keeping the cost low. Swap the high-sodium hot dogs for lean turkey sausage to protect your heart. Combine 1 cup of whole wheat macaroni with half a cup of canned corn and half a cup of kidney beans. Add stewed tomatoes for lycopene, which supports prostate and heart health. This combination provides a sustained release of amino acids that digest slowly, keeping your insulin levels stable and your muscles fed for hours. The fiber from the corn and beans acts as a prebiotic, feeding the good bacteria in your gut that help regulate inflammation. Eat this survival stack twice a week as a hearty lunch. You will feel a steady, grounded energy that light salads simply cannot provide. And unlike expensive supplements, this meal costs less than $1 to prepare. Before we continue, smash that like button and subscribe right now. Don't miss the life-changing tips still ahead. Number 4. The Army Fuel, Creamed Chipped Beef. Number 4 is a legendary military staple that built the bodies of millions of soldiers, but we are going to tweak it to turn it into a muscle-preserving weapon for seniors. You might know it as SOS or creamed chipped beef on toast. Historically, this was dried beef served in a heavy white sauce made from flour, butter, and milk. While the original sauce was heavy on saturated fat, the core ingredient, dried beef, is a hidden nutritional gem for aging muscles. Dried beef is essentially protein jerky, concentrated and cured so that every ounce is packed with amino acids. But here is the medical secret that makes it superior to fresh chicken for seniors with small appetites. Beef is one of the richest natural sources of leucine, the primary amino acid that flips the genetic switch for muscle growth. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has shown that older adults require nearly double the amount of leucine per meal compared to younger adults to trigger muscle protein synthesis. A small serving of dried beef delivers a massive dose of this anabolic trigger without requiring you to chew through a tough, thick steak. To make this heart-healthy, we are going to replace the heavy cream sauce with a modern substitute that doubles the protein. Create your sauce using plain Greek yogurt mixed with a little milk and black pepper. Heat it gently, do not boil it, and stir in the rinsed, chopped dried beef. Serve this over a slice of whole grain toast. The Greek yogurt adds casein protein, which digests slowly and prevents muscle breakdown while you rest. The dried beef provides the rapid absorbing leucine spike your muscles are screaming for. This combination creates a dual-phase protein release that is perfect for recovering from a morning walk or a session of gardening. You get the savory, comforting taste of the classic diner meal, but with a nutritional profile that supports lean muscle retention. Seniors who struggle to eat enough protein due to chewing difficulties or low hunger signals will find this meal to be a game changer. It is soft, savory, and incredibly dense in the exact nutrients that prevent frailty. But get ready, because number 3 uses a cowboy secret to prevent the energy crashes that leave you stuck in your chair. Number 3. Pioneer Power Johnny Cakes plus Beans. We move now to the American frontier, where cowboys and pioneers relied on a specific pairing of foods to stay in the saddle for 12 hours a day. They ate Johnny Cakes, which are cornmeal pancakes, served with a side of savory stewed beans. Most seniors look at this and see a heavy carbohydrate meal that they should avoid. But the metabolic reality is that this specific combination is a high-octane fuel source that stabilizes blood sugar rather than spiking it. Cornmeal is a complex carbohydrate that is rich in fiber and essential minerals like magnesium. When you eat cornmeal alone, it can raise your blood sugar. But when you pair it with the soluble fiber found in beans, something magical happens in your digestive tract. The fiber creates a gel-like matrix that slows down the absorption of glucose into your bloodstream. Researchers at the University of Kentucky found that high-fiber diets in elderly populations were significantly associated with better insulin sensitivity and a lower risk of metabolic syndrome. This means that instead of the energy crash that follows a standard breakfast of toast and jam, you get a flat, consistent line of energy that lasts until the afternoon. Furthermore, this is another example of protein complementing. Corn is low in the amino acid tryptophan and lysine, while beans are rich in both. Together, they form a complete protein that supports tissue repair without the acidity and digestive load of heavy meats. To use this strategy, make your Johnny Cakes using stone-ground cornmeal and water or milk. Avoid adding sugar to the batter. Serve 2 small cakes with a half cup of pinto or black beans seasoned with cumin and onions. This meal is incredibly cheap, costing pennies per serving, yet it provides the sustained glycogen fuel your muscles need for daily activity. It is particularly effective for seniors who feel weak or shaky in the late morning. By anchoring your blood sugar with this fiber-protein matrix, you prevent the hypoglycemia that often leads to dizziness and falls. Start your day with Pioneer Power once a week and notice how much stronger you feel during your morning errands. But the food in the next section addresses a much deeper issue: the silent inflammation that dissolves your bones. Number 2. The Omega Ocean Salmon Loaf. Number 2 brings back a Depression-era classic that many seniors have forgotten, but your bones are begging you to remember. We are talking about the canned salmon loaf. In the modern world, we are told to buy expensive fresh salmon fillets that cost $20 a pound. But the canned salmon your parents used to buy is actually superior for seniors for one specific reason. It contains the bones. When salmon is canned, the high heat process softens the vertebrae until they are easily crushed and edible. This is not waste. This is pure, bioavailable calcium that your body can absorb immediately. Sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle, is often accelerated by chronic low-grade inflammation and weak bones. Canned salmon provides a dual-threat defense against this decline. First, it is loaded with EPA and DHA, the omega-3 fatty acids that act as potent anti-inflammatories. A study published in Clinical Nutrition demonstrated that seniors with higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids in their blood had significantly better grip strength and muscle density than those with low levels. Second, the combination of calcium from the bones and natural vitamin D from the fish oil creates the perfect environment for bone remodeling. You cannot build strong muscles on a weak skeletal frame. To make this effective, buy wild-caught canned pink or sockeye salmon. Drain it, but do not remove the bones or skin. Mash them entirely into the meat until they disappear. Mix with a beaten egg, some crushed whole grain crackers, and minced celery. Form into a loaf or patties and bake until golden. This meal provides high-quality protein to stimulate muscle synthesis, omega-3s to lower the inflammation that blocks muscle growth, and calcium to harden your bones. It is soft, easy to digest, and extremely affordable compared to fresh seafood. Eat this twice a week to flood your system with the raw materials needed to prevent fractures and maintain your independence. You will notice less joint stiffness and better mobility within a few weeks. And now we arrive at number 1, the most polarized food in history, but indisputably the most powerful. Number 1, the brain protector, liver and onions. We have reached the number 1 spot, and it belongs to a food that served as the primary multivitamin for the strongest generation in history. Beef liver and onions. Seniors, you may have hated it as a child, or perhaps you still eat it, but you need to understand why this organ meat is medically non-negotiable for aging bodies. Liver is not just meat. It is a biological storage depot for the most critical nutrients your brain and nervous system need to function. The most important of these is vitamin B12. As you age, your stomach acid levels naturally drop, making it incredibly difficult to absorb B12 from standard foods like chicken or eggs. A deficiency in B12 is rampant in the senior population, and symptoms often mimic dementia, including memory loss, confusion, and poor balance. Research from the National Institutes of Health confirms that B12 deficiency can lead to irreversible nerve damage if not corrected. A single 3-ounce serving of beef liver provides over 3,000% of your daily recommended B12 intake. It is a massive bioavailable injection of the nutrient that protects your myelin sheaths and keeps your cognitive signals firing fast. But that is not all. Liver is also the premier source of heme iron, which is absorbed 2 to 3 times better than plant-based iron. This fights the anemia of chronic disease that makes so many seniors feel perpetually tired and breathless. It also contains preformed vitamin A, or retinol, which is essential for maintaining immune defenses and night vision. To make this palatable, you must prepare it correctly to mask the metallic taste. Soak the liver in milk for 30 minutes before cooking to draw out the bitterness. Sauté it quickly, do not overcook it into shoe leather, with a generous amount of caramelized onions. The sweetness of the onions balances the strong mineral flavor of the meat. You do not need to eat a steak-sized portion. Think of liver as a supplement. Just 3 or 4 ounces once a week is enough to transform your blood work. It is the ultimate superfood, offering more nutritional return on investment than any other food in the grocery store. It builds your blood, protects your brain, and energizes your muscles. Reclaim this forgotten staple, and you reclaim the nutritional foundation that kept previous generations strong well into their 90s. The foods that built the strongest men and women in history were not fancy, processed, or expensive. They were real, functional, and nutrient-dense. Your body is capable of incredible resilience when you stop feeding it empty fillers and start fueling it with the building blocks it actually recognizes. These Depression-era meals prove that you do not need a lot of money to regain your vitality. You just need the wisdom to look back at what worked before modern marketing took over. Start with the Hoover Stew for lunch, try the salmon loaf for dinner, and challenge yourself to eat liver once a week. The strength you feel will be the proof that the old ways often held the deepest truths. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these 5 meals are you willing to bring back into your kitchen? Do you have a family recipe from the Depression era that kept your parents strong? Share your stories and tips in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.